And we are back with an Adventures in Middle-earth actual play, using Fantasy Grounds. You can find session summaries, items and characters on World Anvil, where our campaign is called In the Shadow of the Mountains. You'll find links to that and our other forms of media for our sessions, as well as an index of this episode in the description. This episode will have some jump cuts to speed up the session. Previously, continuing their escort of Irimë, the companions found themselves once again at the place where they had fought the Night-Wight. During the night, a foul shadow descended upon the camp, forcing everyone into a vivid, shared dream. This vision took the companions on a journey of despair, with first the fall of a town to treachery, and finally to enslavement of the survivors, where they rotted in cells under the Hill of Sorcery. Eventually, the combined will of Irimë and the party vanquished the Shade's hellish nightmare. The Fellowship awoke as the Wight fled before the break of dawn and the arrival of the sons of Elrond. The companions have succeeded in delivering Irimë.
So Stuart is not able to make it. So we will... If you remember where you ended the last session...
I don't.
You basically just re-emerged into the real world from the dream world after what seemed like months there, but it had essentially just been an overnight situation. And there's music down a bit. You got a lot of praise from...
Elra here, Eladan.
Yeah, the elves, I can't exactly remember the names, but they were very, very thankful, and she handed over safely, and they started their journey west. And you basically, pleased with yourselves, ended up with some dark thoughts, especially for Sigmar, who suffered badly in the dream world. But you're now ready to go into a fellowship phase and kind of relax and dwell on your experience. So what I was going to suggest is spend about 20 minutes leveling you guys up, or you guys can level up. I won't do that yet for Stuart. I'll let him do that. And then afterwards we can go into the fellowship phase. Just tell me what you want to do before progressing.
So I think we all gained some corruption and or shadow, didn't we, last time?
Yeah, I think you all gained 2, and I think Neil gained 6.
So I need to go up from 6 to 8.
Whoa!
Yeah. I think
Actually,
it was 5. So it was 7. You lost 2 plus 5. Ooh, that's a lot. You want 9 and Neil. I'll whack.
guy's worse than me. I've been
So
positively researching the dark side.
You can heal some shadow points by soothing your soul during a fellowship phase if you want. So bouts of madness. When a player hero who is miserable rolls equal to or less than the difference between their shadow point total and their wisdom while making an ability check, they experience a bout of madness. So when you become mad, you can degenerate. So every time a player, so if you read on page 184, degeneration, in addition to resetting their shadow points, every time a player hero suffers a bout of madness, they develop a new shadow weakness flaw. So the more of those, the more flaws you pick up, and then there are degenerative consequences of that as well.
His despair says, "I feel no kinship towards my company. They will lose me soon enough." But I think we've probably been through enough now that he wouldn't be feeling that anymore. That's what I'm thinking.
We're buddies now.
That. I'm thinking it might be more like, I know that those who stand beside me are only fated to die beside me.
That's slightly better.
That's perked up, isn't it? That's
Mike Pence levels. That is.
That's buoyant. We were given a little submission by the elf lady, weren't we? She said, "Go and tell Radagast about the creature or about the betrayer." The betrayal. She said, "Go and tell Radagast something," didn't she?
Yeah, she tells the company that she will continue to wander Rivendell and urges them to bring word to the wizard Radagast of their experiences. So,
okay, well, I'll definitely weave that into what I do then.
So just clarifying, who's opening the sanctuary, who's healing corruption, who doing some training maybe?
Hathis will try and open the sanctuary at Rhosgobel.
Monin will travel with Hathis to Rhosgobel, and also his mindset will change, so his despair will slightly improve too. I know that those who stand beside me are only fated to die beside me, rather than that other more miserable one, doesn't have any affinity to the people with him.
Yeah. So Hathis will try and open a sanctuary at Rhosgobel. Monin will change his despair. Sigmar will try and lose some shadow points, presumably at Woodman Town, because then he's got advantage on the roll, and he feels more comfortable and rested there and safer.
That makes more sense. You all basically travel together past the old
Happy with
ford,
that.
down the edge of Mirkwood, and then in across to the river, and then you two and potentially Amalfrida are then heading even further south to. Okay.
Rhosgobel.
Yeah, just okay. So your conversation with what's
Radagast.
How do you want to handle that?
My memory of events is fairly sketchy. I just know that Irimë, or whatever her name is, told us to go and tell Radagast what's happened. And I guess that's about the orc bands actively pursuing her, and then the dream battle with sort of servants of the deceiver or whatever it was. I think that was what she wanted us to pass on, wasn't it?
Yeah, almost like a message from the past, wasn't it? So that like
we definitely relay what we saw about the betrayal.
Yeah, so I mean, Radagast. I mean, he's very intense. He's a bit twitchy, but really intense, and he listens very, very carefully. Asks lots of questions, like real strange, detailed questions. You can't kind of work out even where his mind is going with the answers. So lots of stuff about the inn, which you think is really strange and didn't think was that important. He asks all manner of things. You're probably interrogated for 3 or 4 hours with very little break, apart from some like.
I think one might take a little bit of offence to being interrogated by someone with bird shit on their head.
Let me find an image of. I don't think Radagast has quite as much bird shit on his head in this.
They did make him a complete comedy idiot in the Hobbit, didn't they?
Yeah.
There he is in all his glory. At least he doesn't look quite as comedic, although he does have a bird on his head still and stuff growing out of his hat. But besides that,
other than that.
So it means brown hay or hedge, and it refers to the thorny barrier around the village. It's got almost, for you, Hatters, as a woodman, almost like sanctuary properties anyway. It's a kind of, it feels extremely peaceful. There's very little noise other than kind of like happy birds tweeting type noise and cows mooing and things like that. It's a really, really peaceful place. But opening it up as a sanctuary would just be amazing. It will probably be the best sanctuary you'll have as a woodman.
That'll do for me.
Okay, so
that's my main fellowship activity. We'll be trying to open up Rhosgobel as a sanctuary then.
Right. So it is now the next year, 2948. You arranged to meet again on that date. You've achieved everything you wanted to do from that. Over the winter months, Hathis and Monin, you had a few more meetings with Radagast. He really didn't like it, but he took the iron brooch and studied it hard. He informed you that he'd met up with one of his. He disappeared for a week or so. Met up with one of his peers, interrogated him for a long time, and then disappeared with the brooch to investigate it further. And the brooch is gone, but it's still gone by the time you come back. But he does inform you that it's, from what he found out from his peer, it is a very powerful controlling item. It has the ability to control minds at long distance and break people's will. So he asked you a lot about who was wearing it, where they were wearing it, what they were doing, and as you kind of spill the tale of the bandits, pretty much unprecedented size of a bandit gang. Normally they're probably less than 15 people. And unprecedented organization. It was almost militaristic organization that they had. That is very, very unusual, and that worried him a lot. But he did thank you, obviously, for driving him off and disrupting that ban. But he basically asked you to keep an eye out, and he's got a lot of other spies around Wildland to keep an eye out for any other untoward stuff that's going on like that.
No problem.
Right, let me. The rumours. I need to hit the rumour table. Rumours abroad. Here we go. Okay, so that's what you discover while you're at Rhosgobel.
Oh. Have the others seen this?
They have. I'm sorry. I'm assuming you were.
No. I'm perfectly happy with that. It saves me having to read it out and whatever. I'm not going to keep it secret, so that's fine.
Okay, yeah. So that's what you discover.
They're trying to shack up with King Bard.
Looks like it. I guess he's highly eligible.
There you go.
There we go. I wonder what that means.
Means there's gonna be a wedding.
Good party. Cool. Okay. So we've turned Rhosgobel into a sanctuary, have we?
You
Or
have,
did it-
and you. So Neil, do you want to make that corruption check? You're in a sanctuary, so you can do it at advantage.
Yeah.
Balls. You didn't get any. You're in a very, very low place.
God, you've been wasting your time.
Feeling, yeah. So Sigmar spends the winter fretting, worrying, chewing his lip. Doesn't really get out of the fug he was in. It's just this guilt's racking him for succumbing to temptation in the dream world, and he doesn't manage to pull himself out of that. And when you all meet him again after meeting up with the folk in Rhosgobel, he's still in a bad position. So come the 23rd of Reth, which is where you're now up to, you have a final meeting with Radagast, and he basically says, look, I really need you. You've clearly demonstrated your worth. If possible, I would love you to keep an eye out around this entire area for what's happening. There are some very, very strange things. I've heard rumors stemming out of southern Mirkwood that I don't like, and he summons you in eventually to his cottage, and he sort of sits you down. It's the first time, Hathis, you've seen him looking fairly clear-eyed and not distracted since you originally handed over the brooch and things. So it's fascinating. The summons to his cottage comes one evening just as the dusk draws in, and it's actually a bushy-tailed red squirrel leaps from tree to tree, then lands on the roof of the hall that you're in, scurries along the supporting pillars before it drops down in front of you. It bows in the manner of a courtier and beckons the company to follow it. And you notice that it's got a gold chain around its neck. This isn't that unusual, Hathis. You and Monin, you've seen weird, incredibly intelligent animals here throughout the whole winter. But for you, Sigmar, this is, eyebrows raise up, and it kind of takes you out of your despondency for a brief moment. Following the squirrel brings you to a path of crushed white stones. You, Hathis, have followed these before, but Sigmar, you've been here for a couple of days now. You've tried to follow them. It didn't appear to go anywhere. But this time they wind through the wood, travelling alongside a sharp, thorned brown hedge that protects Rhosgobel from the wild woods beyond, and it brings you to a small cottage in a little clearing. The lights of the cottage are warm and welcoming as the night draws in, and there's a horse eating grass contentedly in the field beside the house. The squirrel runs ahead of the company, climbs up the wall, and rings a little bell by the door. The door swings open of its own accord. Come in, says Radagast. So inside, the cottage is, and you've not been in his cottage before, but it's crammed with all sorts of stuff, the gifts of generations of grateful visitors and villagers, from painted earthenware to travelling gear to jars of herbs and spices. There are cages containing sick or wounded animals, casks of wine, moth-eaten blankets, framed wood carvings piled against one wall, a teetering pile of scrolls, a writing desk that overflows with parchments, letters and notes, and any number of birds hopping in and out of the window or roosting in the thatched roof. Inside, Radagast sits in a comfortable-looking chair, wearing a ratty brown robe. He looks exhausted and weather-beaten, but an energetic sparkle still animates his dark eyes. A simple supper of bread, cheese, jams, and fruits is spread out on the table. There is enough for all of you. Radagast insists that you eat first before he moves into the reason he called you here. He knows you all. He even seems to know you, Sigmar. You don't know how, and he knew that you'd arrived 2 days ago, but you've not seen him before. He begins by explaining what he needs from you. So, news, rumour and wild stories has reached me of late. There is talk of orcs moving across Wilderland, of evil things stirring up, of disquiet and sorrow and all manner of unpleasant things. This news comes from all quarters, but mostly from the west. I was so concerned that I sent word south to the head of my order, Saruman the White, who is wise beyond all others. He said that the best thing to do would be to act quickly and quietly, and with caution. My intent is to send you in search of the root of these stories. Your mission is to gather information and report back. Learn all you can, but do not reveal your presence to the enemy. I think the best place to start is Mountain Hall, the main settlement of the woods folk west of the Great River. Heartfast is head of the Council of Elders there. He's a good man, very sensible, and little happens in the Vale of Anduin that does not escape his notice. Ask him for news. So he looks very earnestly across all of you. Amalfrida's there as well, but she's keeping quiet, sitting down. And again, she's a bit in awe of this known wizard herself.
Can we ask him for directions? I mean, I can see on our World Anvil map where it is, but I don't see it on the player map within Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, you can definitely ask you, and he will definitely describe that.
It's beyond the Wolfswood.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So he wants us really just to observe, but speak to the people at Mountain Hall first, and then see what take our next steps from then, or head down south anyway.
So so his basic preamble was root out the source of these rumors and stories coming from the west. So you would assume that he's been investigating the bandit leader to do with the brooch that you discovered, and just try and get to the bottom of things going over there. And his recommendation to you was to start at Mountain Hall. You can ask questions of him as well, kind of what he may have more information, for example. So.
Do we think it's just orcs, or are there other creatures we should be aware of that are increasing in numbers?
Question. So, as you know, many years ago, the necromancer was driven from Dol Guldur. He could be back. When he rubs his chin, really saying that and looking into the distance a bit. If it is him, then you must be very careful indeed. He's a foe beyond any of you, and beyond me too, for that matter. More likely, though, the withdrawal of the necromancer means that some evil thing, perhaps one of his servants, is trying to fill the void he left. Force the necromancer to leave, but there are any number of orcs, spirits, and mean-spirited men in the lands around Dol Guldur who would obey a new overlord. So you were looking for? Well, I don't know. Something evil. With luck, it's just some bandit. With less luck, I don't know, a new great goblin or something worse. If I knew what it was, I wouldn't be sending you, would I?
Heartfast. How much does he know of this threat?
Slarty Heartfast for those.
Slarty Heart. Can we speak openly with him about our mission to look for sort of roots of this threat, or do we need to be covert even with Heartfast?
I'd say the less people know about this, the better.
Absolutely. Can we tell Heartfast that you have sent us to ask about news? Do we say Radagast has sent us to ask what news, or do we just turn up as travellers and say what news?
Well, the reason I'm sending you there is, well, most of the recent troubles that have plagued the land happened west of the Great River, not east. The Hall is the only safe haven in that area, and east of the mountain for many, many miles. So that would be a logical place to start.
Absolutely.
At least you've got a safe place to investigate that region.
Okay.
I know, bother. Have you got any more of that honey made?
He's got big bushy eyebrows that narrows when you say that. And then he smiles and yes! And his eyes light up and he goes over and you hear...
pissing in a jug. There we go, dwarf. Plenty more where that came from.
You hear a pop of a cork in the room at the back of his cottage. He comes in with a stoneware kind of bottle and some stone or very crude cups, which he pours them into. Not stone, sorry.
Wooden.
Pottery cups.
Treed.
Pottery cups that he pours them into. And it is sensationally good. Everyone really enjoys it. It's got a sort of lavendery taste and it's just amazing stuff. And it warms everyone's hearts just drinking it. It's very nice.
That's the stuff.
Does this feel like a situation where I should get out my pipe and start hitting the bong, as it were? Does this feel like a pipe smoking situation?
Pipe hitting score.
You can get your pipe out. That's fine.
I will. The one I won in that competition was a pipe smoking competition where I did the dragon or something. So I should get my favourite pipe out and light a bowl. Obviously, offer Radagast a fill as well.
He thanks you, and He's got
Pulls
a
a bucket with his drain pipe attached.
He's got a drawer of like bits of string and acorns and all sorts of stuff behind him, and you hears like scrabbling around in it, and then like pipes get put on the sideboard, and he picks a suitable one. It's quite small, but with a very deep bowl, and then fills it to the brim, emptying about a quarter of your tobacco pouch, and then
Fine.
he's like eyes cross a bit as he sucks in huge lungfuls of stuff. And,
Good man.
and then breathes it out, and he looks very content.
Cool. Doesn't happen every day.
Is there anything else you need to? Anything else I can tell you before you get on?
Have you got like a map we could borrow?
He smiles, like yellowish teeth grin back at you, and he like taps his head. Says, all my maps are in here. No maps I need.
Aye, but could you do one for us? Could you make it fall out of your head, through your arms, through your fingers, and onto that piece of parchment over there?
He smiles at your humour and or lack of, and then he says, he sighs, and then he says, like, river. Well, he doesn't draw it on the parchment. He says, no, I'm not wasting that on maps, but river, and then kind of the Gladden River. There, you point to that just south of the wood you were telling me about with the bandits in. It's north of that. Mountain Hall, can't miss it. You'll see a road going up there as if you walk along either down from the old forest road south along the foothills of the mountains, or from the River Gladden north. You'll cross the road into Mountain Hall. And
Dol Guldur, that's like the only high place in the south. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the Hill of Sorcery is watched by many eyes. We don't. Yeah, it is. It's the high spot in southern Mirkwood.
So we'll get near. We'll see
there
it.
are other hills there. You will definitely see it. Do not go there though. I wouldn't advise that. We don't think he's returned there, or he will until he's secure in his power. I think whatever this enemy is, it's yet to build its full strength. So we must root out this weed and kill it before it takes root.
So you want really confirmation that if there is, what's the power here, the dark power, and where it's based?
Yeah. So what basically is this power behind this brooch? Why is it raising armies or trying to west of the river? There's many unanswered questions. Those are the two most important ones.
Right. Yeah, I think Mona's got what he needs.
Yep.
Okay, so you don't ask for any other help. All right. So what I need you to do
Eagles.
Speed dial.
He looks and he says, well, there is many number of things I could work on you. But and he's like weighing it up. I'm not sure if they will help or hinder you. So I put a spell of concealment on you. That would help you hide from orcs and men and beasts, but it would make it easier for other things to sense you. If I put a spell or two on you, then I'm writing, these are friends of Radagast across your face in letters of sunlight that can be read by anyone with a wit to read them. Still, I will leave it up to you. If you prefer to risk a little magic in the hopes that whatever you find is just a dumb brute and not one of the necromancer's horrors, then you shall have it.
What? Looking towards Hathis and manners of sorcery. Well,
because of my vast experience in sorcery, I think we would be better not being ensorcelled by Radagast. If we encounter something, we've got more chance of talking, bluffing our way out of it than if we are.
Yeah, how long does it last? Forever?
So it depends. There's a number of things he could potentially do. What I'm going to need after your conversation is for you to make an audience check. So
I think we should plan on not getting caught. So I'd be happy to have the mark if it helps us not get caught.
And you're thinking no, Hathis?
Yeah, because I think if you've got a mark like that on you, there's no way you can bluff your way out of it, is there? Whereas if you haven't, all the options are open. You're not marked as being one side or the other, or one thing or another.
Yeah, I suppose from one point, I don't know how easy it is to spot, because say you go to Mountain Hall here, and you say, we're just passing ourselves off and don't want anybody to know us, but there's some servant of the enemy, you can sense those things. You can know where we are, goodies, if think of a better word.
Yep.
But I do like the idea of not being hassled so much all the way up. Because imagine if we do get caught by orcs or even horrible beasties, they're not really going to care about our backstory. They're going to just want to enslave us or kill us.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make a decision after the roll. What I would suggest, so you make the roll Hathis as you're a woodman, and actually know him well.
Yep.
Did you say woman?
Woodman.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Cut. You've been drinking too much, dwarf. It's the beer goggles.
You've noticed Hathis has got he's
man
got
boobs.
a flowing dress of worsted wool now that you hadn't seen before. So, okay, so you are favoured as a woodman, and he is a woodman, so or lives with a woman. So good, you didn't ask what is our reward. That's positive in your part. 2. So add 2 to that roll.
So it's just plus 2. What roll is it? Am I rolling?
This is yes.
It's a yes roll.
Hang on a second. It is a traditions.
Traditions, my strongest suit.
I know you're pretty good at that, so this is why. And you get another +2. So
17.
Wow, +11.
That's still good.
That's
okay.
+9, +2. Yeah, that's why I wanted the advantage. That would have really kicked it on a bit.
So he says, "Look, it's completely up to you around some sort of magical boon I may be able to offer. I can't foresee all of the risks of receiving it. There will be some, but what kind of things can I help you with?"
I guess we're going to travel straight to Mountain Hall, so it's getting there without getting lost, getting there without being seen or intercepted, and getting there quickly and promptly. Definitely going to need to stock up before we go.
So he says, "I will offer you up to 3 boons."
Is there anything we can do which calls the favour of the eagles in case things get really bad and we can get taken out? Now we know that's possible.
Says, alas, I cannot offer that. I have no control over the eagles. He describes some of the things that could assist. So, for example, I could leave message on your route with animal friends, keep an eye on your progress, which will help you spot potential enemies all around you. That potentially would help. I could conceal you fairly well, which would make you very quiet and stealthy. I could bless your travel, at least ease it a little bit for hunting and finding locations for camping. Oh, and he dives into a chest at the back of the room, a big sort of wooden one, and he digs out a battered old leather pouch. A storm bag. I could give you a storm bag. They're really useful.
That sounds good.
And then he goes, "Oh, hang on," and he dives back into the kitchen, and you hear some bottles creaking and smashing together, and then cordial. I could give you a flask of cordial.
That sounds fantastic.
So, what kind of? Have up to 3. Up to you, though.
I like the sound of the storm bag.
What's it do?
I have no idea, but it sounds pretty cool.
Is it something we open and run away from, or is it something that we open and take the benefits
Oh,
of?
yes. Only use it once, and you want to run if you open that.
What kind of thing happens?
Within minutes of opening that bag, a huge thunderstorm will appear. Dark clouds, high winds, torrential rain or snow. Only works once, but if you really need to cause havoc and mayhem and get out of the way, that's the thing to do with.
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
I'll take 2.
And the cordial?
Look at this, and he tips the bottle up, and you can see it's glass, quite a thick glass bottle, and it's almost like a waxy, thick liquid in it. It's oily, not waxy. Sorry. This liquor's been distilled from rare herbs, and he taps his nose when he says that.
It's Colombian
rare herbs that I picked up deep in the forest of Mirkwood. Remember, 1 sip at a time. It's a very, very strong pick-me-up, but don't have more than 1 sip a day.
Right, that sounds good.
Yep. So I think the storm bag and the cordial sound good, and maybe the animals along the way that will give us some kind of warning if other things are around.
Aye, Sigmar, would that be acceptable?
Yep.
Okay, I will drag you those and into the
Cool is that?
baboons.
Storm bag. I'm gonna
Genuine
ruin
magic
your
item.
barbecue.
It ruined the village's barbecue. We're going to finish the cordial before we get out of the village, aren't we? Pissed on cordial at the bottom of the hill.
So Galleon promised that Thranduil would recompense you for all the efforts to protect Irimë, who's very important to him. And during the winter, an elven emissary arrives at Rhosgobel, spends some time with Radagast, but also drops off a pouch containing some white gemstones.
So I think we're there. I think next morning we should just hit the road, Jack. Don't you look back.
Okay, no problem.
Is everyone happy with that? I don't want to railroad anyone.
I'm good.
So once he has a conversation, he kind of dozes off with a pipe and some mead inside him, the nice warmth of the fire, and the birds are quietening down overnight. With a big snore, he wakes himself up, and then he announces it's time to bed. And you sleep. He offers you sleep in some spare room in his cottage. Although the cottage looked tiny from the outside, it can only contain maybe 1 or 2 rooms at most. You find that there are 4 bedrooms in addition to the one he disappears into, and you all sleep in a separate room. You hear the door open and close while you're just settling down to sleep. By the time you wake up in the morning, he's not there. But you break your fast with what was left over from the meal the night before and set on your way. So which way are you heading to?
If we head fairly due west with a slight northern bent and then go up the River Gladden on the north side, it sort of skirts the Wolfwood, but maybe the Wolfwood is safer now that we've single-handedly cleaned it out.
Yeah, all down to us.
Pretty much. It's a bit marshy, isn't it, around where the Anduin meets the Gladden?
Yeah, it's pretty marshy there. Now, you don't know of a way to cross the river there without boats?
Cross at Stonyfoot if you want.
Stonyfoot is the closest place you could cross the Anduin.
Could do.
Head west if we could.
Yeah, we're pretty much heroes around this entire area.
Well, you know, on that old guy again.
Oh, God.
We're good friends now.
Yeah, you have correspondence. You write letters and everything.
It's 120 miles approximately to Stonyfoot, and then about another 80. So in total, it's about 200 miles from Rhosgobel all the way to Mountain Hall. Most of the journey is through what's known as borderlands, so it's not completely safe, but it's not too bad. On the east side of the river, it's fairly easy going.
Mm-hmm.
On the west side of the river, as you get into the West Anduin Vales, it's more moderate going. It's harder going, more bandit type things and stuff around that area as you head towards Mountain Hall. So we're going to do slightly different journey rules than the rules in the rulebook, so it gives everyone something to do, basically.
Yes.
So, summary of the rules. You plan the route, which you've now done, and assign your characters to your journey tasks. I will let you know what the peril rating of the journey is. And then you make some rolls to plan it based on that peril rating. Then determine the journey disposition between, like, it was a really easy journey, a really difficult journey. And then what is different this time is the journey hazards. It was really, really ambiguous how they were handled previously. It's really clear now the hazards are exhaustion, and there are saves to avoid that. Journey events and corruption, depending. You're not going through like the middle of Workwood, so the corruption is highly unlikely. And then I'll pick a point during the journey where those hazards occur. They may affect you. So, for example, exhaustion affects your ability, your saving throws, those kind of things. If you get those, if you get critical successes or failures while attempting anything, I kind of keep a note of those. They affect the final arrival roll, and then you apply the results of that. So what this means now is you actually, rather than just being hackers that pretty much determine the success of every journey, you'll each contribute to that. And if there are any hazards on the journey, like journey events, you'll all have things to do during that as well. Okay, so let's see how this works. You have got, you know what the route is, 200-mile route. The peril rating is a DC 15 because you're going through borderlands there. You're not traveling in winter, so it's still just a DC of 15. Actually, yeah, I'll say your first DC to get up to Stonyfoot is a DC 10. It's pretty straightforward. It's free lands you're traveling through. It's much more friendly. So I'll split the journey in two. So what I would like is some preliminary planning rolls, which is on page 2 of that document. So each makes a skill check depending on your assigned travel task. So there's a guide, which we need to make a wisdom, survival, or intelligence law. Scout, intelligence investigation, or dex stealth. Huntsman, wisdom, survival, or a lookout, wisdom, perception. So I think you've got your rolls, don't you?
Yeah, so wisdom, survival would be that, and intelligence law would be, oh, okay, yep, fairly high, whatever. So you just want us to make a preliminary planning roll each?
Yeah, preliminary planning roll each one of you. So DC 10 initially for this.
23.
Nice.
Survival from Hathas.
That's a +1 disposition roll adjustment. So everyone else, I'll do it for Amalfrida. What was that? She was the huntsman person, wasn't she?
Yes.
Huntsman.
Monin was lookout, and Sigmar was the scout, I believe.
So I roll perception.
Yep.
So unfortunately, Amalfrida didn't help. And
Monin balls it up royally.
Monin doesn't help. So we just need one from Sigmar. I can't remember what it was.
Sigmar's a scout, so he chooses investigation or stealth. Don't fuck it up.
Oh,
well done, that man.
My God, it's the first critical roll as well. I need to make a note of that.
You do?
Consider it not fucking up.
Oh, lovely.
2 and 2.
That is 2 and 2. They cancel out.
Plus 0.
The +0 to the journey disposition. So I will make an embarkation roll with a D12 and consult the following table. I haven't built this table in yet. So, okay. Holy crap.
You're doomed. A point of shadow, -1 in the rival roll. Oh my God. Disadvantage forever.
Let me. That's what I rolled. which is really not good.
We're fucking. Woohoo!
So,
we're protected
you
by
get
squirrels.
+2 to the rolls on the journey events table, the arrival table. So initial test made to determine the initial outcome of a journey event should be made with advantage as well. So as good as you can get, basically 12 or more.
So that's on the events table.
Yeah. So essentially, what you're doing is, as you set out. So we'll remember to add that when we get to that. There are 3 types of hazard on a journey: exhaustion, events, and corruption. So for every 15 hexes travelled, a player hero must succeed in a con save versus the journey peril rating or suffer exhaustion. So peril rating is only DC 10. So this is definitely my rules now. Your peril rating and your, let me just see if it's...
The first part of the journey was a 10, wasn't it?
120. So you're just after you leave Stonyfoot, you'll be making, and actually, no, I'll have you make one at Stonyfoot. Because that's where most of your journey, the majority of your journey is. So everyone give me a DC 10 con save.
Ooh.
To see if you're tired.
Oh, I'm getting a bit knackered. Sigmar's fagged completely. Monin's out on his feet.
Another 3.
You got 833.
What about Alfreda?
Yeah, let me see if Amalfrida can pull one out of the bag. Con.
Was there 3 months sitting drinking mead?
We've all gone soft. We've all gone soft.
Oh, me feet. They really get my legs ache. Oh, that's horrible. So yeah, you're
really rubbing.
Let me just see. It is terrain crossed is easy. So I think one of you, Monin, you succeeded, as does Hathas. Just
yes,
+1 on the save. What that means is you receive a level of exhaustion. The person that failed now, which is Sigmar. Poor Sigmar's in the wars. So everyone give me another roll for your characters, and you need to get +8 basically, which would boost Sigmar over the line.
These are like
so what am I rolling?
So you're rolling a investigation or a stealth check, whatever you prefer, and I'll roll for survival for Amalfrida.
Well, another critical too.
Oh.
Sigmar's
Take that, Monin.
Monin's there as
3.
well. We have a winner. Ding, 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 ding.
Amalfrida didn't do so well.
But she's not.
Okay, that's 2 20s. Right, that's definitely needs making a note of. Sigmar is skipping through the daisies. He may be completely exhausted, but
And down in the dumps, corrupted and
down in the. But he's absolutely nailing these.
He's loving walking to his death.
+6 on that roll. So actually, the upshot is you all succeeded in the end. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Got it. So none of you exhausted. We're getting there. I do want to go through this because the more we do it, the more easier it'll become. So then the number of journey events is determined by the length of the journey. So I'll say it's 1 journey event for the 12 hexes that get to that area. You also, so this is where you get advantage from the animals that are following you as well.
And we're +2 because we got the 12 on the journey disposition table, yeah?
Yeah.
+2 to the rolls on the journey events table. And we've got advantage.
Yeah.
It's feeling better already.
There's 1 event. Give me an event roll, Monin, with a wisdom perception check. Good luck. 13, DC 10, that's fine.
That's with the advantage and +2.
No, that's the advantage and +2 is for the journey event table, isn't it? Not for your wisdom check. This is just a normal wisdom check. Wisdom perception, isn't it?
Okay, do you want me to roll that again, or do you want to just take the 9?
That's 11. That's still a success. That's fine.
Brilliant. So that gives us another +2.
Yeah, so that's now +4. You are
and
a
advantage.
moderate-sized company, 4 to 5. That's 0.
+4 with advantage. Jim rolls a d12 and first to the following table, yeah?
Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Now I need to work out what exactly happened. Dun, dun, dun. In the wilderness, in a fairly remote area, probably about 40 miles from...
Anywhere.
No, 40 miles from the...
Stonyford?
The ferry. Yeah, the ferry. You spend a night in what must be, because this tower that you're in, this wooden sort of platform, has been built inside an old ruin. And there's a lot of ruins. It was dusk when you got here, but a lot of ruins around you. And you're inside here sheltering for the night. However, in the darkness, you sense from the birds and animals that were kind of protecting you over the last many miles that something was tracking you. And as the night draws in and you begin to make a camp, you hear sounds of wolves honing in on your location.
So is this a lookout post? Are we on up in the air, or is this just a little? Or... It
is kind of up in the air. It's dark around you. Up to you if you've got a fire lit. In which case I can shine a little bit more light around. There's a lot of ruins and old sort of ruined paths and stuff around you. You came from that direction. That's where. So it looks like you're being tracked from that way by wolves, and they're coming in that way from that way. That's all you really know at the moment.
Are we all asleep? Is someone on watch? Are we all awake? Because it's
you were definitely aware of this, and you're all. It's early evening, as in probably about 9 o'clock. You're all aware of these howls coming from that direction. So what I'll do is roll initiative. You can then kind of make a decision what to do. But you don't like the sound of these. These do not sound. It sounds like a pack. It doesn't sound like an isolated wolf. It's some weak-ass initiative there.
There's some top rolling, isn't there? We'll just wait and see.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, let's just wait. You are now in initiative order. Round 1, you hear some howls kind of moving towards the southeast kind of direction.
So we've raced off the ground, or is this just a ruin?
So the ruin itself, the walls around it are about maybe 6-8 feet high, but a lot have crumbled down and fallen apart. The tower, the wooden tower, and you're actually not. I'm assuming only one would be up its watchtower, obviously to guard things or to guard a camp. But most of you would be camping underneath it. It's literally just a wooden platform up in the air. So maybe pick a guard, but you'd probably only have one person up there right now. So maybe just roll a dice or something for that. And the rest of you will be camping just underneath it.
Okay, combat tracker order. Third person. Amalfrida.
So she's on guard duty. The rest of us are down below.
On guard duty. The rest of you down below. Okay, so we'll do that from a. So she's none of you have particularly good night vision anyway, apart from Monin. And it's really dark out there, so let me know if you want to try and see anything moving out there. But at the moment, Hathis, it's your action.
Hathis will move a little bit. He doesn't want to go to... Oh, okay. 5, 10, 50. He'll move to something like here. And he'll start with it, and he'll draw his bow and arrow rather worriedly. Say, wolves! And start looking to the southwest rather nervously for wolves. And if he has any action left, if a wolf pops up, he will try and shoot it with his bow.
Southeast, you mean, or southeast?
Southeast, sorry.
Direction. Yeah. Okay. So give me it's a free action to draw your bow. Move is fine. So yeah, just give me as an action, make a perception check.
This is cool because I've learnt the rules for this now. Because I've got a dog, who helps me. It says when you make ability checks using one of your hound's trained skills, which wisdom perception is, you get advantage and count as proficient even in the skill, even if you are not. If you are proficient, you get double your proficiency bonus. So I will be my normal perception is +5 advantage.
And then add what your proficiency bonus at your level would be.
+2.
+2. Okay.
And then so that. Whee! 27.
Okay, so from where you are...
Well, that's kind of with who are helping me in terms of, there's wolves over there, boss. Those things.
You can see these guys roll, so the rest of you role play as if you can't yet, because I can't hide the map from only one person. So sneaking up around some ruins there, I'll just draw... Got such a good roll. I just kind of draw a bit of a path around to that area.
Oh,
you can see that kind of. You can see what the terrain's like a bit down that area. Some old paths and some stonework and ruins down there. Looks like maybe it may have been a graveyard or something, or maybe an old building. It's a bit hard to say down that way, but you can definitely see some wolves. You can see them. They're kind of creeping towards you, eyes glinting in the moonlight, type thing. That's what you spotted.
Okay, so Hathis will whisper to his colleagues, 2 wolves creeping up on us about 150 yards away, 50 feet away, 140 feet away to the southeast.
All right, Sigmar, you're next.
It's me. So I've been told where the wolves are coming from.
Yeah, only don't put the role plays if you kind of don't know exactly, but you see Hathis pointing that way.
Well, what I want to do is sneak off to the side and find some cover and hide myself there with my bow ready to sneak attack one when I see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So kind of head off east, that kind of direction.
Where have we been? As in, if we've come from the southeast, then I'll know what the terrain is. That.
Yeah, you came that way, and to be honest, what you'd know is there are cliffs you'd need to climb up to the northwest of you. Because you got here when it was light. So that kind of way, there are some cliffs.
All I want is a little bit of boulder to hide behind or a bush or something to the southeast.
Okay, so there were some bushes right around the edge, kind of in that direction, just right around the front of the location you're in.
Okay.
But you actually have a wall that's about 4 or 5 foot high. You can peer over it where you are right now, so up to you.
Okay, well, I'll do that then. I'll move to... there if that's a place I can hide.
Yeah, so definitely can hide there. There's a kind of pillar that's broken off, but it's like a column that would have been in that corner. So you're kind of crouched behind it looking.
As my action, I'll hold my action with a trigger of, if I see a wolf, I'll shoot it. I've also got night vision.
Yeah, you're not taking a really long, careful look. You just kind of crouched, peered over, readying your bow, looking out into the darkness. All right, no worries. No, so who wants to play Amalfrida? I prefer one of you guys did than me, but up to you.
I think everyone's stupid.
I have claimed her. So she's going to come forward and stand beside Hathis. Going, what do you see? What do you see? Oh no, she's much more taciturn, isn't she? What do you see? Completely different.
Two wolves, 140 feet that way. I'll sort of point in the direction.
Exactly 140 feet behind that bush over there.
Oh, he can't see in the dark. Oh, he can't.
Just a question. Do any of us know much about wolves?
You've met wolves, wild wolves. Who would probably know most about
We
them?
fought wolves on 2 occasions and a warg.
Yeah, so
I'm thinking more. Do we know about their hunting tactics? I mean, they tend to come at you visible, whilst some others go behind you invisible. Do you know what I mean?
They're sneaky. They are incredibly persistent. Wear you down, track you for days.
yeah, so you would estimate from the warnings you got or the bird noise and that kind of stuff that these have been tracking you for a good part of the day. So if you want to know tactics more detailed, you need to succeed in animal handling checks, or a nature check to kind of know what's
not going
Which we're all on advantage because of our animal friending things.
you are.
In which case, yeah.
That was animal freedom. Next up, Monin.
Okay, have we got a fire going?
Up to you.
If we do, he's going to start stoking it and putting a couple of brands on. Because
I would have thought we would on the way to Stonyford, because on this side of the Anduin, I think we would have thought it was safe enough to have a fire lit. Maybe after Stonyford and the other side of the Anduin, we might be a bit more cautious.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
what he'll do. He'll stoke the fire up, put some brands on. Because remember, last time we fought them, they really didn't like fire.
Cool. Nice.
Don't like it up them.
Okay. Next up is Huon.
He will just
heckles are rising.
He'll slope his way to near Hathis, and that's it. And he'll be looking around for wolves, and he'll growl a bit, just to himself.
You see this wolf. It's kind of belly to the ground, creeping up,
slinking up.
It. You can see it clearly, though. It doesn't know you can see it.
Mangy dog.
Yeah, it looks pretty lean.
Hungry.
And then you see the other one creep behind it. Definitely hear wolves. So give me a perception check, Sigmar. So no, you can't see any movement. You can hear some growling maybe out there, but you cannot see anything at the moment. Next up, Hathis.
So Hathis can see this wolf, yeah, because he can watch sneak up.
See those two still, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So can he? He's going to shout, "Go away!" and he's going to fire his short bow at the wolf number 1. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
8 plus 12.
That landed on a 20. The image did, or it did for me.
Sadly, it did. In reality, didn't match that. So yeah.
That missed. So
curses. And I will keep standing.
You don't miss by miles. It kind of thumps into the ground just to the left of it. And you see the wolf flinch and whine a bit.
And I'll keep my eyes on it. And I'll say 100 feet, lads and lasses. Can anyone else see them? They're over there by that bush.
You'll need to make an active perception check to try and look for them. Otherwise, it's just your passive perception against their stealth. So Sigmar, you can hear some noises coming up, probably southeast, east of you. Can't see anything yet.
Yeah, well, I shall do the same again. I'll hold action until I can see one.
Okay. So just the rules with passive perception is your passive perception, Sigmar, is I think 13, which means if they get if their stealth checks are less than a 13, you'll spot them just passively. You've got a better chance of seeing them if you spend time looking, but that means you're not going to get attacked for like a readied action. It's a full round action. It's an action to take an active perception check. Okay.
Yeah, you can track them after that, can't you?
But you can track them if you spot them, but you would lose that round's worth of like an attack, a triggered attack. So just let you know the way the rules work.
That's what Abelfrida's going to try and do. Now, she can't see, so I don't know if she's under disadvantage or not.
So just give me at disadvantage, perception check at disadvantage.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, you're struggling to see out there at all. You kind of look at Hathis and go, I can't see anything out there. It's so dark. But you got your axe in your hand. You kind of gripping it tightly. Okay, next up is Monin.
Okay, yep. Monin will still stoke the fire unless that's done, in which case then he'll take his position on the line and look to see if he can see anything.
Okay, give me a normal perception check, not at disadvantage.
Are you going to move from that spot you're in, or are you going to do that from there.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Cool. You can go in front of me if you want.
You can. So that wall is quite low there. You can see over it. No, you're looking resolutely that way. Don't see anything. So
southeast, my boy.
Okay, next up, Huan.
He will growl in a most majestic way, and that's it.
Nice.
Bloody hell, Huan. What did you have for lunch? Steady on, boy.
This thing is still creeping forwards.
75 feet and creepy.
Towards you. Sigmar, you spot through the darkness a wolf creeping
Feckers.
through the darkness out. I'll just draw a...
Wild Wolf 16?
You see Wild Wolf 16 creeping through the...
Bandits, 3 o'clock.
Triggers your action to fire.
I shootify him.
Yeah, first off, give me a stealth check to see if your hide was successful. And if it is, then you get an advantage. Yeah, you're absolutely perfectly hidden. So roll at advantage.
Advantage.
Nice shooting wedge.
Nice.
And what was my... I had a thing where...
Roll the damage twice and choose one.
Roll it twice and choose the one. Yeah, choose the highest.
Fierce shot. Well, I think I'll keep that one.
Okay, so I'll apply 17 in total to if I drag that first off, and then another 7.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Very nice.
So you hear this squelchy. That wasn't very good. I need to be louder than that.
Oh.
Arrow. That was an arrow in flesh sound, followed by a bit of a growl, a roar.
That'd be whelping in pain. It wouldn't be expecting 17 points of damage. That would be.
True.
And the crowd goes wild. The squirrels are cheering us on, guys.
Right, that's enough silly things. So while Wolf 4 is coming up again, sneaking belly to the floor, and then something else you can't see.
I understand.
You also can't see is sneaking up that direction from that direction as well. You cannot see what it is. Hathis.
Ooh, Hathis will. He's still got his bead on Wild Wolf 1. He's going to attempt to pepperize him using his short bow. Can nobody else see this wolf?
Oh, sorry. Just before you... That's fine.
You put me off. Shot to the left.
Just before you shot, you hear almost like a commanding howl.
Yeah, the front door go.
coming from like southeast, and all the 2 wolves that you can see look like they're ready to spring. Basically, maybe it shocked you a bit, but your arrow goes wide based on that.
You put me off, you bastard.
Sigmar, you can still see that one crouched on the ground there, arrow in its front chest shoulder area, looking in real pain.
Did it not move after I shot it?
No, it was triggered by it moving. It moved and triggered you.
It moved and triggered it when you got there, yeah.
Well, I'll shoot it again, just to make sure.
So you do not get advantage this time because it knows you're there.
We don't need advantage.
Doesn't really matter though, yeah.
Sustained fire.
Okay, roll again.
Yay!
So if you drag that one onto the combat tracker, either onto the combat tracker or onto the map, onto Wolf 16 on the map, it should apply to both. That's it.
Nice.
Drops it like a sack of spuds. The arrow bumps into its chest, and there's a wheeze and gurgle as that thing just dies horribly and slumps to the ground.
Have I heard any more coming from other directions?
What was that?
A dramatic note.
Oh, okay.
You can.
That's a bit odd.
You can hear some, but you can't hear them. You can't like pinpoint where it's coming from.
We know they're out there, but we don't know where.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if I should go to somewhere else and spy out, because we weren't expecting one to come from that direction.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'll just keep looking out where I am, really. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Amalfreda, so you're peering into the gloom.
Yeah, she's still
So-
keeping.
See Hathor's firing.
75 feet away. Over there, by that statue. Next to the...
She'll look which direction and try and see if she can actually see anything.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Yep, see both. Okay, so you can see both of those now, Amalfreda. Oh yeah, I've got them.
Right,
About
okay,
time.
see them now.
Moaning.
Well, he still doesn't know it either, so he has to try and have a look as well. Oh, for fuck's sake.
We're over
Moaning, but
here.
you got the same roll as last time, I think. Huon.
Huon's going to tug on Monin's trousers just with his jaw, so I pull him a bit and then get his attention, then point with a paw in the direction of the wolves because Monin's currently facing in the wrong direction. Well, look, it's like, they're over there, bud.
Okay,
And that's it. He's not going anywhere at the moment. It's too risky.
no problem. You can see these wolves were like hunkered down, ready to leap, and Wolf 1
Boing.
suddenly leaps and runs forward really, really quickly. Let's see how far they can move. Wow, holy shit. So they come basically running straight up the steps to attack.
Oh, shit.
Immediately from the east, you can hear a wolf run up, and as it gets really close, it tries to bound straight into jump over the wall, leaps and lands over the wall at the foot of the area where you're in, and then another mean-looking wolf follows up around the back here, and then suddenly upon you, Hathis. What do you do?
Oh, shit. Almost semi-subconsciously, he'll take a step back because it's just, oh, shit. And he'll keep his bow out. He'll try and shoot the wild wolf 5.
So just to let you know, at the moment they are in threat range of you. They're within 5 feet.
Oh, piss. Okay, so that would be a bad idea. In which case, Hathis will not do that. He will drop his bow and arrow on the floor and attempt to tonk Wild Wolf 4 using his staff, I guess.
Okay.
Or he could disengage, but then he doesn't do anything. Nope, he'll try and tonk Wild Wolf 4 with his staff, yeah? Oh,
I'm going to give it a better name. That's better. Okay.
Wild Mangy Wolf.
Yeah, and I now need
11. Oh, where's it? Hit! Dunk!
Okay,
Boink.
nice.
Ah! Fuck!
Wow, that was some damage.
Yeah. Leave us alone, miserable creatures.
Oh.
full gamut of sounds.
Sigmar, Wolf just jumped over the wall next to you. You saw it run up, almost too fast to react, but it's jumped over the wall.
Who is toe to toe with who? Because basically, as my cunning action, I can disengage for free, basically, and then get a move and an attack. So
You're basically engaged now. You're 2.5 feet away. It's within 5 feet.
So I'd like to use my cunning action to disengage from that. Move next to Hathis.
Okay, you can do that.
And then attack the wolf that he's engaged with, because then I would get a sneak attack bonus.
Sneak attack, yeah. I'm up for that.
Will that work?
Yeah, you can do that. So long as you can move that distance. So to move, if you can move around behind them, that way, so you want to end up there, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's too far, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
maybe go next to the one in Moaning.
I'm just trying to not be the one, because I'm the squishy one. I'm trying to not be the one that's going to get wolfed, but that's okay. If I have to move to there, then I'll move to there.
Yeah, you could always move there next round if you live.
So then I will try and sneak attack the one that's in front of Moaning. That makes sense.
Yeah, and just like stab it with your sword or whatever. Yeah.
Sword. Yeah, I think that won't do.
That's close but no cigar. Let me edit some more. He's dead. I can get rid of that one. Edit some more names.
Amalfreda.
Well, she's going to go into Battle Fury.
Yes.
And then she's going to attack Wild Mangy Wolf with her axe.
Cool.
And I just do that.
Well-fed wolf leader. 14-18 hit. Good. Dunk.
And then some damage.
Wow. Fromage.
Let's have lots. Yeah.
slashed out with an axe.
And Monin
Nice
is going
shot.
to
Monin.
action surge, so he can get 2 smacks in on the thing in front of him.
Which is wild, emaciated wolf.
Yeah, so here he goes. Foe crusher.
Good. Dunk!
That's a hit.
Ooh.
Bang!
And then attack
Big
number
bang.
2. Yeah, critical hit.
Super dunk!
Whoa.
And then lights out for
Oh,
nasty.
double.
Oh,
Huon. Oh, God.
You drive in and you just like hit his, I don't know, shoulder bone, not pierce through into his chest, unfortunately, despite a good, amazing shot. Huon, what is he doing?
He is going to risk it, and he's going to leap in next to his master and try and bite this wolf using his attack.
Ballsy move from him. Okay.
It is a ballsy move from the ballsy wolf. So he
I'm going to
is.
just move everyone into whole squares.
He is
my
plus
OCD
5.
is getting it.
Yeah, he's plus 5 to hit because he gets my proficiency bonus on his attacks and damage. Come on, dice. Don't let me down now. Wow. 6 plus 5. Wow, missed.
Oh, I missed him, unfortunately. Okay, brave Huon dives in. Now the riposte. Emaciated wolf is next up. Is that one? Okay, odds, Monin, evens, Sigma. It is odds, Monin.
Woo.
Emaciated wolf with pack tactics.
Tactics.
Oh, yes.
What does that mean?
Leaps in to bite you. You'll see when you see the number of dice it rolls in a minute.
Oh, shit.
And misses you completely.
Yay!
Mangy wolf is the next up, and 1, 2. So 1, 2, Huon, 3, 4.
Hathis, 5, 6. Amalfrida.
It is. Oh, it's Hathis.
Brave move, wolf.
You've awoke the
This
dragon.
last fatal mistake.
I know. My armor class isn't my best tactic. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
You were hit.
You rolled a 4.
Oh, that hurts.
I hope you haven't got rabies or herpes or scabies.
And let's see what else happens.
Oh
shit!
Nothing else happens.
Yeah,
He
your powers
barrels
are
into
strong.
You manage to keep your footing. However,
kick him in the noogies.
there it is. The other wolf growls and leaps straight at you, Sigmar,
I shall haughtily ignore him.
and misses you with a. Oh, hang on, it's got pack tactics. And misses you. And then
Haughtily ignore them, boys. It works.
Howl of a wolf behind, and
No fair.
just clears the wall, lands next to you in that corner. He hasn't got a lot of space. He's at -2, but he's attacking you.
Who's you? Me?
Yeah, sorry, Sigmar, unfortunately.
Of course he is. Silly question.
With tactics.
And with pack tactics, and let me see what that does.
With his
That was impressive with his impressive
teeth.
mouth, and then he claws at you with a claw. Oh, and that strikes home. Ow!
Ouch.
Sigmar gets raped.
Raped.
Raked.
Oh, thank for
Raked with a K.
Jesus.
Disgusting pervert. And then Hathis is up.
I've only just gained those hit points, you hairy bastards.
If Huon can help me, does Hathis have to wait for Huon to help as his action?
Yes.
Okay, he will probably do that. So Hathis will hang on so that Huon help him create a diversion to give Huon an advantage to attack. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just put a ready action on.
So
That's
next,
fine.
yeah,
Sigmar, there's 3 wolves around you. I can see a judicial retreat coming on from Sigmar.
I'll attack emaciated wolf and then step back.
Oh, nice hit.
Lovely.
Yes, worked.
So that's killed him. So now
nice work.
This pack tactics, John. Wild wolf, the mangy wolf, is no longer connected to his brethren. Does that matter, or is it a thing?
No. So at the moment, he does not have advantage
Pack
in pack
tactics.
tactics. Yeah, it's only when
Good.
you're adjacent to an ally.
Fantastic.
Sorry, John.
Sigmar,
I'm saying to Monin, sorry, Monin, you're tougher than I am, and I'm actually moving further than that. I'm moving to there.
absolutely bricking it and disappearing around there. Okay,
Yeah.
you're going to go round the back, everyone. Sneak in beside Ewan. Okay, Amalfrida.
Right, Amalfrida is going to do a reckless attack on Wild Mangy Wolf.
Okay, so apply their reckless attack. Oh, it's nice. Advantage and disadvantage.
Oh, good job you did.
Lucky you did that. It's good.
Ow.
God, some damage. Do some real damage. Come on, you can do it. Okay,
So what does the
Mangy
reckless
Wolf.
do?
It gives you advantage to hit, but they get advantage to hit you as well.
But,
Yeah, but what? Okay, so right.
but they were getting advantage anyway, and they had pack tactics, so I thought, well, was it better?
Yeah, it doesn't make much difference. So, Monin, you're up. There's a wolf right next to you who's looking very badly injured. But the leader and the other wolf next to him are not injured at all.
Yeah, Monin's going to smack the one in front of, one attacking Hathis. Oh, and misses.
No, you're not. Useless. Right, Huan is going to do a distraction to create an opening for Hathis to get a super attack in on this wolf in front of me. However that works. So Huan's going to help me.
So it's your attack. So attack as Hathis and just give yourself advantage.
Oh, cool. So this is going to be...
Huan is like distracting the wolf, snapping at his legs, all that kind of stuff. So.
10 and 14. Yeah, boink!
Yeah.
And then 8
damage.
Again.
Hathis the Slayer again.
If I've got the extra movement points, can I just kick the corpse down the steps in a sort of a dismissive way as well? If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you kick it hard and it just lays there.
Okay, whatever. Let's go get him, boys!
Next up is the wild wolf at the top. Growls, jumps to you, Monin, and doesn't attack both of you. Stupidly attacks without pack tactics.
Misses
you, Monin. But the other wolf's on you in a flash.
Oh.
Right, attacks Monin. Bites at you, Monin. But that misses. And then slashes out with a claw.
What?
Oh, and that hits. Ow. That rakes across your armor. Across your armor.
Oh, yeah, big bastard.
Hathis has gone already.
Yeah.
So, Sigmar.
Was that not Hathis held, actually?
Actually, Hathis held until Huan. So, yeah, it is Hathis.
Oh, you're right. It is Hathis. Sorry.
God, shortchanged to what? So, Hathis will move to next to Monin on that side and will attempt to smack Wild Wolf. And he'll say, I hope your shield's this side. And then he'll attack. Damn.
Hathis politely prods at it with his staff.
Yeah.
Sigmar.
Is this one alive?
There's a small wolf next to me. Maybe I'll attack that.
No! He's on us. He's
growling nastily.
Human pisses on your leg.
And I move to there and attempt to stabify the well-fed wolf leader.
So again, you've got sneak attack, yeah?
Sneak attack hit, yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh,
bloody hell.
That's some damage. Sigmar is absolutely lethal now. It's in close combat. It's just he's a bit squishy. Amalfrida.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still recklessly attacking the... Ooh, who's she going to go for this time, actually? Have to be the well-fed leader.
If you're recklessly attacking, that hits anyway. Just roll again, just in case you get a critical. Oh, not quite, but you still hit. Right, normal damage.
Boink.
It's growling in a very nasty way. Monin.
Yeah, he's going for their leader as well.
Yeah, they hit.
Cool.
Not feeling happy, Huan.
Who is going to slope behind you guys because it's looking a bit scary out there.
Okay.
He's not completely crazy. He's still on the adrenaline high from risking his life just now. That's him done.
Next up is the wolf.
Is he a chihuahua?
Sorry?
Is he a chihuahua?
No, he's not.
Sorry,
But he's not a bloody wolf. He might be a wolf.
No,
Odds Moaning evens Hathers.
he's a dog, but he could be, he could be a Yorkie.
He's not a Yorkie.
He's attacking Hathers.
Can I use my
shit.
reaction to apply disadvantage?
Yes.
With the shield.
Okay, so he attacks you at disadvantage. He doesn't get pack tactics because he's not attacking Moaning. He is really stupid, actually, that wolf is.
Armor
So
class
now-
is 13.
Disadvantage to hit. He attacks you. And that misses.
Ah! Thank you, Monin.
Well-fed wolf leaders looking around and attack.
Your turn, wee doggy.
Going
Oh, bugger, I forgot
clockwise
to
from
disengage.
Amalfrida. He's attacking Amalfrida this time. Ditches
I don't-
Moaning.
I
Oh,
don't think it spotted you, Sigma.
attacking Amalfrida. I think he gets advantage to hit Amalfrida, unfortunately.
Yes, you did reckless thingies.
That hits.
She's got damage resistance there.
Ow!
Pa. It's a flesh wound.
And
Oh,
unfortunately,
rotting.
you
Prone.
forget-
Knocks you
fall
over.
Prone knocks you over, and then gets attacked by a claw. Can't get double advantage, but you would have done otherwise. You get clawed. That really hurts. No, it
That
doesn't.
missed.
That misses you.
Yay.
He's got good AC now. And it's savages you. It's got its like teeth into your leg, and it's savaging you. Hathers, what are you up to?
What am I up to? I am going to keep smacking away at this wolf in a slightly frantic manner.
Yep, that's a hit.
Nice.
Boink!
First time it's been damaged. A little peck on the cheek there.
Just
What's
getting
Sigma
your
got in
measure.
the locker?
Yeah, stabs.
He had 19 points of damage in the locker last time, so big locker.
It's whoa, hit, nice.
Boink!
Oh, nice.
Ouch. He's really looking injured.
And I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage and then move to, I don't know,
Wales.
there.
Buggering off. Okay,
Brave sissy.
this is
She's
all right.
prone.
What is Amalfrida's prone? She can get up as a half move action, so it's half a movement. I think it's 15 feet.
Yep, which I think she'll do.
Okay, I'll remove the proniness. There you go.
And then she'll have to apply a reckless attack again. Oh, yeah, that's on this time. And then she'll try and attack with the axe again. Not dribbling, it's supposed to be frothing at the mouth more than anything.
Frothing at the mouth, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice shot.
Yes.
Not that thing.
Monin.
And Monan's going to try and hit it as well. Excellent. Flurry of blows.
Nicely done. Nice teamwork there.
Probably all the
Monin wanna
stabs in the
move,
back.
or is Monin moving, or is he staying there?
Monan, yeah, it will move around to make some room. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. If I move, do I get an attack of opportunity?
Don't take that
As long as
shield
you-
away.
If you leave its reach, I think.
Don't
Yeah, if
take
it's
that
only if you
shield
leave it.
away. I quite like that shield there.
Actually, yeah, as soon as you start to do that and sees the shocked expression on Hathis, he goes, oh,
You see,
sorry, brother Hathis.
Get your ass back here, man. Unfinished business.
But he stays.
Who emboldened by the numbers changing significantly in their favour, will move so he can attack the wolf. So if he moves next to Hathis, can he then attack the wolf from there?
Yep.
To come up? Okay, and then he will boldly try and. Oh, I can't target him because I'm not the wolf. He'll boldly dive in and try and attack it. I'm pissed, missed again.
after that. Damn it.
Hey.
Okay. Next up is the wolf. So the wolf looks at his dead pack leader, yelps and disengages. He's lunges forwards and you'll step back a bit and then disengages back and makes a leap over the edge of into the darkness over the edge. Disappears, running fast towards that's about right, 50 feet.
Do they get attack of opportunity?
No, he disengaged.
He disengaged, so he's just done a runner over the back. Athos.
He's just going
You lost
to.
sight of him, but
Yeah,
he's taking it that way.
He's going to collapse on his haunches and say, "I think we've driven it off." He's not going to He's not going to be crazy enough to chase after it.
Yeah, you got to sense these are wild animals, not anything else. So if you're not chasing, we can kind of end the combat. Just let me know if you want to
I'm
start
not
attack
chasing.
or anything.
Not chasing.
Okay, chasing. Okay, I'll end that.
And that's where we'll leave this episode. Glad to be back. Glad to be playing Adventures in Middle-earth again. Glad John's back. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for listening. Thanks very much for subscribing and following. And on that note, let's just thank the subscribers at the moment. I've done this on the Rollmaster one we do, but Stuart Miller, he's the GM for our Rollmaster and also plays Elmfrida. And a few others, Sam Y, 7RPG, Capt Moores, Ed Deathlot, David Spake, Fireseer22, Cygame00, Shane Herbert, Tessa and John Kopinski, sorry guys, I'm slaughtering your names by the way, Richard Ruyard, Aspire to Hope, Southsides Kane, Adrian L, LT Tibbles86, Mark Mitchell Heileman, Tyler Langley, Dominic Poudre, Christopher House, and Martin Lindvist. They're the subscribers on YouTube. We've got some on Podbean. Jay Gatsby, Battled77, Naiz, ZZZ Jack or ZZZ Jack, Harmon RN, Jober2185, Jodstar Crew. And also for those of you who leave comments, and those would people would be on another piece of paper here. Shane Herbert, first ever to leave one. Farseer22, Some Bloke, David Spake, Fred Daniel, and our latest person who's left a comment, James England. Guys, thanks very much for doing that kind of thing. Never bothered too much about this kind of following, subscribing business, but it actually does improve visibility. So there's people like you who like this kind of thing. It makes it much easier for them to find it. Anyway, look, stay safe. Cheers. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.